Yeah, here we go, I'm TJQUaKe, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing.
Yeah. What's up, people? Welcome back once again. Yours truly, TJQUaKe, yo, ghetto gamer, is back with you once again with some nonsense. That's what I'm calling it, nonsense. It's all nonsense, ladies and gentlemen. And it's always the common sense that's battling against nonsense. That's what this is now, ladies and gentlemen. Common sense battling nonsense. Nonsense being beaten down by common sense. And ladies and gentlemen, for some reason, we live in such a society today. The nonsense is literally trying to take over our country, but we're fighting back. That's the good news. We are fighting back. We've been dobbing, uppercutting, slamming back. We coming back at them, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we're doing. And there's people out there that you need to be exposed to so that you can see the craziness that's going on in our world, and so that you can see how wild and over the top some of these people are going to the extreme, to basically silencing any words that we used to have in our English language. Okay, our English language is derived of all kinds of sayings and so forth. And now we're being told that we can't say words that we grew up saying all of our lives. Words that are in the dictionary. Words that you can't even say on YouTube anymore. Because if you say them, they try to flag you and red flag you and say, yeah. And a lot of times they don't tell you this shit until you get in trouble for it. And so forth. Oh yeah, so trust me, I won't get into all that. But today you're going to see some stuff on Dr. Phil right here on TJQUaKe's Ghetto Gaming Show. And this is some stuff that's getting out there. Black Conservative always brings this kind of information out there. And I like finding that information myself and go, wow, that's something I need to be freaking telling people about as well. And I'm right here about to show you guys some shit that's on Dr. Phil about words. Okay. And the people that are on the show, you're going to get to see this little chit chat that they get to have on Dr. Phil on why certain words shouldn't be used in words and why we need to be inclusive with certain wording like mom and dad. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, mom and dad is now a problem. It's a problem. Whoever would know and everything. Oh yeah. We got a gay mother with her wife and her child now, basically saying, well, we don't feel included when they say mom and dad because this is just not great. This is not good for us. It makes us feel like we're, well, what are we? Fruit Loops. No pun intended. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to see here is people that have literally gone off the deep end, and they want to dictate to you, what you're allowed to say. Okay, something that you've been saying that's been part of your verbiage all your life, you're no longer allowed to say it because it hurts their feelings. It makes them feel excluded from the activities and so forth. Bullshit is what I call this. I call this people trying to be dictators and trying to bring you into their fantasy world. And you got to be a part of their fantasy world or they want to cancel you. They want to figure out some way to make your world their world and everything. And I'm sorry, I ain't having it. And most of America who is sane in the mind is not having this shit. We are not going to go and give up our traditional ways to please you because your feelings get hurt because certain words that are naturally said throughout everyday life, throughout the beginning of time, are now offending you and so forth. This is the problem. When you give people a little piece of rope, they want a mile. Now you give them a mile, they want 2 miles. This is something I was telling my wife earlier and so forth. I was on the phone with her and I was just going bombastic about it. And I told her, I got to make this video, babe. I got to make this video. My wife was like, yeah, there you go. Well, there it is. Yep, that's all these people try to do. Go on, baby. Do what you got to do. Love you, baby. Anyway. So we're going to get into this show right here on Dr. Phil real quick. And without further ado, let's go ahead and listen to these crazy people. And Dr. Phil, he's going to kind of explain a little bit, and I'm going to get into it. I'm going to, commentate in between some of these things here so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me throw on my little headphones here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this TJQUaKe Ghetto Gaming Show. You guys know what I do. I do all these kind of things where it's talk about political talk, gaming, video games. I do all that kind of stuff, podcasting, all that stuff with TJ&MJ Spend Your Dollar, Save Your Dollar movie reviews. We do all that craziness. And, today is some more craziness. So here we go.
We have a graphic of words or phrases that now you can't say. You can't say that. I mentioned a few of them before, and I'm just curious. Some of these maybe are...
Just to, really quick, I'm going to stop it real quick just fast. Look at the stuff, the words, and this isn't even half of them. Look at the stuff that's up on here, dude. Grandfathered in. Powwow. Tribe. Master bedroom. The thing we've been calling, the mom and dad's room all these years, the main big room. Oh, can't say that. Oh, we're going to get into that a little more. Tone deaf, brainstorm. Oh, you can't say brainstorm. Oh, can't brainstorm stuff anymore. That's offensive. Blindsided. Oh, because it's offensive to blind people. Blind spot. Hey, I couldn't see him because of my blind spot in my car. What did you just say there, sir? Oh, that's offensive. Do you know people are blind? Come on. I'm just saying it. Okay. So here we go.
Obvious, but if you know why some of these are on the list now.
Mom and dad, I see why that would be up there.
Okay, why would mom and dad be up there?
I have a daughter with another woman, and when it's being taught in school.
Okay, so right there, I just gotta say something real quick on that one right there, and we can get right back into this. But right there, that's crazy. I have a daughter with another woman. You don't have a daughter with another woman. You had a daughter with another man. You had a daughter with a man. Not another. See how they try to twist shiz up, ladies and gentlemen? They want to get there and let you almost think that she had a daughter with this other woman. See how she said that? I have a daughter with another woman. No, I have a daughter with another man. I'm married to another woman. That's the way she should have said it. I'm a lesbian and I'm married to another woman, and this is my daughter through the man that she was with. She don't say none of that. You know why? Because she's not going to get to the truth about why her daughter is confused. She's not going to get to the truth of it. She's going to blame that on us. She's going to blame that on you. The average citizen who grew up normal. In a normal two-parent home with a man and a woman, she says that shouldn't be the norm. Oh yeah, let's get further into it. I just wanted to kind of point that out real quick. Go on, crazy.
School that's just the norm. That it's just mom and dad. It kind of offends us because we are lesbians. You know what I mean? We come from the community, and it makes us feel like we're not important enough to be called mom and mom or parents.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
So should I?
How the frick does that not make you feel important? Because they don't say mom and mom. They'll say mom and mom. It's just that the average kid in the school has a parent that is a mom and a dad. So that's the way it's always been. It's been like that since you were a kid. I'm sure when you were a little kid and mommy and daddy were there, they were saying, look, report this back to your mom and dad. Because before you became a lesbo and all that craziness, you had a mommy and a daddy. That's right. That's your daddy came with your mommy and they did some things and they made you. Not your mommy went to another woman and they made you. That doesn't happen. We'll get to that in a little bit. Keep going. Dr. Phil, proceed.
Parents.
So should I stop saying that?
No, not you.
Because you're mom and mom?
No, not you per se. I'm just saying as far as it's being taught.
Me, anybody. If that was our experience, yours is mom and mom. I'm happy to say mom and mom, but why would mom and dad be on the don't say list?
Mm-hmm.
Why not add mom and mom?
You notice she can't say anything to that. Because I don't feel inclusive and it's just offensive. Oh, it's offensive to you. So now we got to go down because you're offended. Because you decided you wanted to be with a woman now, instead of doing it the way God intended it to be, you wanted to be with a woman. You were with a man, because that's how you had the daughter in the first place, but you exclude him out of the entire picture now. Now he's no longer available and everything. Do you tell your daughter about the daddy? Because the daughter's wondering why she don't, where that's the problem. What's going on is that the daughter's going to school and she's seeing that all of her, when she goes, she's saying, oh, well, everybody's always talking mom and dad and so forth. And I just don't, I feel awkward now because, I have two moms and most everybody else has mom and a dad. And the mom don't like this. She's like, well, this is wrong. They need to be telling people that a mom and a mom is normal. Okay. Go on, Phil. Bring it back a bit.
Why not add mom and mom?
I get your point
add
on
dad and
that.
dad. But why is mom and dad offensive to your sensibilities?
I mean, to be honest, because it's being taught to my daughter and she doesn't have a father figure. She sees two mothers. And so every time.
Whose fault is that? Because she doesn't have a father figure. Whose fault is that? Is it the fact that you don't bring her daddy into the picture because you actually a lesbian, that you don't like the man, you don't like men and so forth, and you decided to be with a woman now and so forth? Whose fault is that? Because you got pregnant by a dude. Do you tell your daughter about her daddy? She does have a dad. She does have a dad. She shouldn't feel like she's excluded and everything. Once you let dad come into the daughter's life, or maybe the dad is a bum, or who knows? Maybe he's one of them type of dads that don't want to deal with his daughter or whatever. Or maybe it's you who keeps the daughter from seeing her dad and you talk all this smack about him. Because that's normally 9 times out of 10, that's what's happening. The moms be mad at the pops and then they be talking smack on them and they say, well, he don't want to see you when you're the one that's keeping them from seeing their daddy. Oh, yeah, but we won't get into that though, will we? Yeah, okay. And we feel excluded because why shouldn't it be a mom and a mom? Because that's not the normal flow. People normally don't look at it like that. But go on, crazy.
She doesn't have a father figure. She sees two mothers. And so every time she reads something that says dad in there, you can see a little bit in her eyes. It's like, well, what's going on over there? Why don't I have a dad? So it's a sensibility issue on the child's part as well. So I'm looking out for my daughter.
Why don't I have a dad? Why don't you tell her why she don't have a dad, mom?
Is that a conversation that you should be having with your daughter anyway?
Oh, we have.
She doesn't take offense to terms
we
like this?
We definitely have had that conversation, but in the same sense, there is an accountability for the school as well. I feel like when they're putting that inside of our homework and stuff like that, it's making the kid feel a certain type of way.
Well, no, that's because the school is overall looks at most kids, they have a mom and a dad and so forth. So it's not being put in their homework. Saying you have mom and daddy is not normally in the homework. When you have math, they're talking about math. When they have English, they're talking about English and everything. They're talking about, words and things that you guys are trying to, cut out of our language now. That's what she goes to school for. She's learning to speak English, but pretty soon she ain't gonna be able to speak English because you guys want to ban every freaking word.
Help me out here.
It is the heterosexism of it all. Mom and dad are not canceled phrases. I can assure you, in schools all across the United States, school leaders are sending memos and teachers are sending memos home with their children about mom and dad. I think what we're missing here is the opportunity to be decidedly and deliberately inclusive of all parents.
I agree.
Of all parents. Now, we're going to continue. We're going to continue and everything. But we are being inclusive with all parents. That gonna knock my mic all over the place and so forth. Eek. We are being inclusive with all parents. It's just that the majority of kids, they normally say there's a mom and a dad because that's where kids come from. Kids come from the fact that a mom and a dad got together and they hooked up. Daddy impregnated the woman. The woman bore the child after she was impregnated and so forth. So most people always consider there's a mom and there's a dad. They look at the biological parents, not the parent that's not biological, the biological parents and everything. Now, yeah, of course you have people that get remarried and things like that, and they're both the parents now. Cool, and so forth. They're still going to call her a parent. Okay, so you're the other parent. Got it. And so forth. The daughter probably feels embarrassed to be saying, I have two moms. Why? Because she feels odd and out of place because most kids have a mom and a dad. They know that there's a mom, even if mom and daddy are separated. Most of the times, ladies and gentlemen, my parents were separated. My parents were divorced and everything. When I was growing up through school and everything, you know, my dad was only there till when I was about maybe 9 years old and so forth, or 9, 10 years old, something like that. My mom pretty much raised me and so forth. But I always said there's my dad. I had visitation with my dad, things of that nature. There was a mom and a dad. My mom, she didn't have a problem just saying, well, I'm the only parent, so you only say one parent. That's all you should be saying. I don't feel inclusive enough if you don't just say one parent. No, there's two. Because there was another person a part of the party that made me. And everything. These people don't get that. So she wants to exclude the man who freaking helped her make the child. And so forth. Whether he's a deadbeat or not, he's still her daddy. Why don't you talk to her about her daddy? And so forth. This woman here is not her biological parent. You are. You guys didn't get together and do this, and you made her, which is what you try to almost make sound like at the beginning of the show, and so forth. No, that's not what happened, and so forth. Sorry I had to get graphic, but that's sometimes you got to get graphic to get shits in people's heads, because people just don't get it no more, man. Our society has gone loony and stuff, and this stuff right here, all up on the damn screen, you know, is loony to me. Canceled words or phrases. You can't say this shit no more. That's why Dr. Phil's having the show, and Dr. Phil, you know, sometimes he gets a little bit, you know, strung into all this, you know, woke bullshit because he wants to, you know, be able to appeal to everybody. You got to understand, Phil, these things like this is going to be stuff that's going to cancel your show. Why? Because pretty soon you won't be able to say anything. You won't be able to say these words because it'll be offensive. So now when you use your everyday language, you can't use it. And you can't use it even for a freaking a show like this pretty soon. Because that's what these people want. They want you to live in their fantasy world. And that's what's happening. So here's some more idiots talking and everything on this topic, which is stupid. The only guy in the room that's got any sense is the guy that used to be a cop, which is where he was from another show on here. And he's kind of the guy that's up there saying, you know, well, why is this offensive? Why can't you say this? Why can't you, you know? Yeah. Here we go. Get this back up in the mix.
Agree. I would say that of all these words on the list, the only thing that I've heard be talked about in my entire life being canceled, and it's not canceled, is the word tribe. It's about the rhetoric changing. We're not failing our kids these.
The word tribe will be canceled because you guys, there's people that are offended, just like this lady here with mom and dad. They're offended. The word mom and dad isn't canceled yet either. But if you keep getting this kind of bullshit, what'll happen is it'll get enough of these little woke flipnicks and the daggone freaking Democratic Party. They always want victims. So pretty soon what they're going to go is, ooh, we've got some more victims. Oh, this word mom and dad, you know what, maybe that is kind of a bad thing. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Let's make some legislation and make a law to where you can't say the word mom and dad anymore. It'll be wrong to say, and you can be fired from your job and anything like that. You can't say that in school no more. Kids can't say that. So now guess what? That word mom and dad gets taken out of the picture now. Now we're not allowed to say mommy and daddy anymore. All because of stupid idiots like this. It's ridiculous. But no, more woke people up here getting offended by bullshit
these days at all. We're just changing. We're progressing, and we're allowing us to become more inclusive of a new generation of people. I'm glad that your parents were married for 50 years, but something is now changing, and we have to account for that.
Well, my thought is, regardless of your skin color, regardless of your race, why would you take offense to any of these terms or words?
I'll give you one.
You know what spook is?
Master bedroom. Here's a historical lesson.
You see the silence on my face? And you look how serious he is. I'll give you one. Master bedroom. Let's take that into context there. Master bedroom? Dude. But let's listen to his explanation of why master bedroom is a word that needs to be canceled. Oh yeah, this is rich, y'all. This is real rich. Come on, buddy. Come on, Mr. Brother Man. Tell us another word we're not allowed to say anymore.
Master bedroom is the bedroom where master slept.
I understand.
Where he raped enslaved black women.
I understand.
Where black women who were enslaved were his servants.
Talk about it.
As we come to understand the historical...
Now, mind you, people, mind you, this guy's talking about slavery. Here we go again with slavery. See how they want to dip this into slavery? Now, master bedroom was the place where the master slept during slavery, and the place where black women were placed in there, and you know, where things happened to them. Because we're not allowed to say the R word anymore on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the R word, you know, the thing that happens to a woman when a man, you know, sexually abuses her. Yeah, we can't say that anymore. Yeah, YouTube will flag you and so forth. Oh, y'all didn't know that? Yeah, I found out the hard way. Yeah. So common words. This is what happens when you start messing with language. We can't communicate anymore. So now this guy's up here saying master bedroom because the slave master had slaves and he brought his slave women in there and he did things to them and he did bad things to and everything. Dude, it was called a master bedroom long before there were slaves, dude. Okay, there was a master bedroom back in the medieval period when there was kings and queens and so forth. Before they had slaves, they called it the master quarters and everything. It was called the master quarters actually. And then, of course, we changed it down to master bedroom. Why? Because the master bedroom is the big bedroom. So the thing I was telling you guys at the beginning of the show that we were going to get into, that's what this idiot here is up there talking about. He's wanting to say master bedroom. A lot of people probably been hearing this a lot lately. I heard about this maybe 2 years ago that they were starting to try to act like master bedroom was a racist thing to say now. Oh, yeah, most of the words that are up on here are things that they don't like because it derives to racism. It's ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Ridiculous. But that's what we're dealing with. And we got idiots like this dude right here who is trying to be Mr., I know things and I'm, got a degree in this and this and that and so forth. No, bro, you're just an idiot is what you are. You're saying idiot and foolish stuff. And that's what's happening right here, ladies and gentlemen. If these people keep doing this stuff, we're not going to have a language anymore. We're going to be sign languaging all day long. That's what's going to happen because these guys right here, look at all the words that are up on the board now. There's more than that, dude. You ain't allowed to say, the thing where men mess with little kids. Grown adults mess with little kids. I call them petties. I had to say petties on here because you're not allowed to say that anymore. Oh yeah, you know that word for people that do that? Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a word that I found out too that YouTube doesn't want you saying. Why? Because it offends the people that rape. Said it. I'm going to have to bleep that out and everything. It offends the people that mess with little kids and so forth. It offends them. So we had to be, check ourselves for their feelings. We had to be diligent of their feelings. We had to make sure that their feelings aren't being, trampled on. That's what this has come down to in the Democratic Party. Everybody's hurting feelings. So victims is always the thing that the Democratic Party works off of. And it's starting to die down. People are starting to get over this bull-shizzleness. Yes. So go on, bro. Tell us the history of it, of master bedrooms. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. I'm sorry.
Origins of the word, I think we can agree that was an awful place. We probably shouldn't call it that. Can we call it something else like
Can we call it something else? Can we call it something else? No, you call it something else, buddy. You call it something else. I'm going to keep calling it the master bedroom because that's what it's been all my life. I've never been offended by the word master bedroom. It was always the place that we called the big room. It was the big room. So what, we got to call it the big room now? Is that what the big room and so forth? People sometimes say the big room, but then when they say, hey, this is the master bedroom and everything, oh, this is nice. I like it. Yeah. Nobody had a problem with it back in the day. But we get these knuckleheads like this who now want to contrive that to racism, and now we can't say it anymore. Well, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care what this flipneck here says, and I don't care what society says in their little safe space zones. Y'all get offended by it? Oh, well, don't be around us then. Go move to a motherfucking another country somewhere where they probably won't take to your bullshit there either and everything. Here we go.
Primary bedroom or the main bedroom in a house, but we don't want to call it the place where master raped my great-great-great-grandma.
See what he's going to? Where master my great-great-great-great-grandmother. Really? Dude, get out of here. My great-great-great-grandmother was jacked up in that master's room. Bruh, it was always the master's room, like I said before. It was never something that was said, oh, we're going to call it the master room because we got these slaves and we're going to do things to the women in our room and we're going to call it the master room and that's what it's going to be now. And so forth. It was always that. Master quarters, you name it, brah, and everything. If you want to call it the primary room or the big room or whatever room you want to call it, you do that, brah. When you to bring people to your house, you can go say, oh, and this is our primary room. You do it. But when people come to my house, yeah, this is my master. This is our master bedroom. Well, this is my wife's master bedroom. Me and my wife's master bedroom right behind me, way back in the back and everything. It's the master bedroom because it's the big room and everything. We're the masters of this house. Therefore, we have the master bedroom. Then we have the smaller bedrooms. Those are the ones that for the guests or children or whoever else lived with us and so forth. And everything. That's how it's done, bro. But I'm going to keep what I'm doing, and I'm not going to have you dictate to me what I'm allowed to say anymore. That's your problem, dude. That's your issue. You need to go seek some help, professional help for your anxiety and your vibe of, oh my gosh, my ancestors were in this room, and this was a master room. Oh, it brings back bad memories from my great-great-grandmother. Shut up.
Mother. I understand, but what my point I'm trying to make is that being offended by what somebody says or by a certain term is a choice that you make. You have a choice to not be offended. You have a choice to not let that affect you.
But you also have the choice to not use the word.
People are free to say whatever they want to say.
Damn Skippy. We're free to say whatever we want to say, bro. You also have the choice to not say the word. Well, I can say it, dog. And if you don't like it, move on. Get to stepping. Oh, well, I'm saying the word. I'm not going to have you tell me I'm not allowed to say something because it hurts your feelings and so forth. Because you go back to the day that our ancestors and blah, blah. You know what you need to get mad at is them dadgum slave masters, them slave flipnecks who sent us over here in the first place. Our own people in Africa. Yeah, you need to get a hold of them. I bet you he was over there watching the Woman King movie. He probably thought that was genius. Oh my gosh, this is a great story. Not knowing that these women were actually people that sold us into slavery. They were warriors and capturing other women to enslave to the kings. To the king of Dahomey. He was actually nicknamed the Slave King. Yeah. A black African, yes. No, you're not going asking for reparations for him. He had a master room too. Yeah, he had the master room and he was doing all kinds of stuff to all his slaves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're not talking about that though, only because it only relates to only white people when it comes to you flipnecks. Proceed.
Within reason, but
absolutely,
you're free to respond and react to that however you choose. And I think being offended by something is a choice that you make. You can choose to simply ignore the reference that it has and to not let it affect you and to not let it make you angry and to not let it make you sad and to not.
That's true and easy. I mean, we had to deal with it most of our lives and our grandparents getting called the N-word all the time. We had to finally be able to choose not to let it affect us, but it's hard.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in.
Now, that right there was the dumbest comeback I've ever heard. Yeah, that's true in fact, but we always had to deal with words that were said to us that was offensive to us, and we had to live with that. But it's hard, not to be called the N-word. Well, if it's so hard and it's so offensive to you, then why do black people use it on a daily basis? It's literally a part of our language. Try getting black rappers to stop saying the N-word. Oh, see how that turns out. They'd be like, man, please, nigga, please. Everything. So black people say it all the time. We say it to each other all the time. There's a positive way of saying it. There's a negative way of saying it. That's my nigga. That's my nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, oh, nigga. And you a straight up nigga. That's how it goes out sometimes and everything. So when we say that word, black people say it all the time. But we don't never check each other on that word. Everything. We only get mad when the white man says it. Oh, we've been saying this, it's so offensive to us. But yet we say it like it ain't nothing, like it's water coming out of our mouth. And so forth. Shut up with the nonsense. I'm so sick and tired of all these flipnicks always crying and boo-hooing over stuff that they do themselves. and so forth. They always want to jack up everybody else's way of saying things because they're offended by it and so forth. Well, you're so offended by it, don't say the word yourself then, buddy. You know, I'm serious, dude. These people are nonsense to me. This whole thing with these words and so forth is nonsense to me. This woman right here is nonsense to me. And everything. My daughter had to grow up with. I'm just like, woman, please give me a freaking break. And so forth. Why don't you talk to this girl about her daddy and who her daddy is? And so forth. So she's not so confused about who her parents really were. Why don't you do that? And that way, when she goes to school, she says, yeah, well, my dad is over here. She doesn't have to speak. But you want her to call your wife, her parent, her like you want her to call her like daddy now. But you want her to say mom and mom. No, that's my mom and that's my mom. Well, maybe she wants to say, no, I have a mother and a dad. That's my mother's wife. And that's all she wants. She should have to say. That's the way it should go down. That's my mother's wife. My dad, he doesn't live with us anymore. He left us or whatever and so forth. She can say whatever she wants to say and everything, but she can say, I do have a dad. He just doesn't live with me and everything. My mom ended up marrying another woman. That's her wife. And now my parents are her and her and so forth. She's like a guardian, I'll say, and everything. But I'm not going to be forced to say, oh, that's my mom and that's my mom. I'm not doing that and everything. My mom, when she got remarried, she didn't force us to call her new husband our dad. They didn't tell us, oh, you got to call him daddy now. We didn't have to do that. We decided whether we wanted to call him dad or not. I started calling him dad because he was there for me. He was there. He provided. He was good. He was good to me and so forth. So he earned the respect for me to call him dad and so forth. I knew I had my biological dad and I knew I had my stepdad, which is what he was and everything. My mom didn't force me to say that. It's something I decided to do and so forth. This woman here, is trying to force her daughter to call the other woman her mom. Well, maybe she doesn't want to call her mom. Maybe she just wants to say, auntie this, or maybe she wants to call her by her biological, her real name. She don't want to call her mom. She don't want to say I have two moms when she knows she has a dad and so forth. I have a mother and a dad. This woman here is just my mother's wife. She's cool to me. I like her. She's nice, blah, 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 whatever, and so forth. But she doesn't have to be forced to call. You're the one that's forcing her to say something that's not really true because this isn't her real mom. You're her mom. You're her mother. So why should she call the other one mom and so forth? Why are you forcing her to do that? You're the one that's doing that to her. She should be able to say, you're the mommy and daddy's someplace else. This is my mom's wife. Or she can maybe say stepmom if she wants to say that. But let her choose to say that. You shouldn't be the one saying it. Because, it's confusing my daughter. No, you're confusing her. Everything. Because you want her to live in an unnatural, unnormal way of life. And you want to act like we should be living in your world when we don't want to live in your world. I don't want to be forced to be able to say, oh, well, I got to say mom and mom now. No, I'm going to say, well, who's the biological mom? Who's the blood related mother here? You are, then you're the mom. That's the way I'm looking at it and so forth. That's the way it's going to go down. That's the way it's always going to be. And you people keep trying to change things. And that's the reason why I get sick and tired of what happens with the LGBTQ community and everything. People like this woman are kind of giving them a bad name, in my personal opinion, because not all gay people and LGBT people, they don't all think like this and so forth. Some of them are like, hey man, don't include all of us up in there. That's your thinking. You know what I'm saying? But people like this they put that name all on the entire name of LGBTQ, and so now we all look at all the LGBTQ like that. We start thinking, well, dang, is all you motherfuckers think like this? Because if that's the case, I'm sick of you people then. I'm done and everything. You you guys have those same rights as everybody else. Nobody's telling you can't get married. Even though they're trying to lie, trying to say Thomas, is up there trying to put a law about them not being able to be married anymore. No, nobody's doing that. We can care less about what you people do in your own bedrooms in your home. I can care two flipples what you do and everything. I care when you try to force this on us, when you try to change our language to fit your needs, to fit so you can make you feel like you're normal. You're the one that doesn't feel normal. You need us to validate who you are. You shouldn't need us to validate what you are. If you feel strong about being a lesbian, then be a lesbian and be strong about that. You don't need my approval and everything. You don't need America's approval. Be you and do you. And don't worry about what everybody else thinks and so forth. And as far as this freaking knucklehead over here talking about the master bedroom, bullshit, this old clown right here, where's he at? This flip neck? Don't listen to idiots like this. Ladies and gentlemen, don't listen to idiots like this. Guys like this right here is the reason why we have this woke society that we live in today. We live in a woke society because of people like him. Because they will take the most normal thing, a normal saying like master bedroom, as an offensive term because he thinks it's racist now because that's what they called it back in the day of slavery. It was before that. They were calling the master bedroom back then, long before the slaves came over here. So don't get it all twisted, ladies and gentlemen, and listen to this knucklehead tell you, oh, that's what they called it during the slavery times. No, mother flip, that's what they're always calling it. It was the master bedroom because he was the master of the home. That's why it was the master bedroom. This is the master's bedroom. It was called that back in Great England before slavery. They always called it that. The master quarters, the master bedroom, and everything. You getting all offended and butthurt over that? Dude, get out of here with that nonsense. They just find stuff to be angry about and be offended about. And that's the reason why we have this woke society that, to me, in my personal opinion, is very dangerous and everything. Because woke society is what's causing a lot of stupidity in our political world, and that's going out into the national world, which is why Putin, Mr. Putin over there in Russia, is trying to stop that shit from coming into his country. See, the real reason why Putin is really part of the reason why he's up there fighting Ukrainians, because he don't want us over there on their borderlines, putting that Western bullshit up in there and then coming on into his country. He ain't having it. A lot of people don't understand, but a lot of that stuff is what's really driving Putin to where he's at right now. And he's been saying this for some time now. People just haven't been paying attention. I've watched a number of Putin's little speeches and so forth when he's been on the world stage. And this is the stuff he's been saying about the Western world that he's sick and tired of. They're trying to get back to their natural Orthodox Catholic religion. They're trying to bring their country back to that. They're trying to bring back moral standards and everything. And he sees that the West is not about that. He sees our side over here. We're going to the side of Satan. Our moral standards are going into deteriorating because of people like this brother right here who's up there getting mad about master bedroom. I'll tell you what, master bedroom's he's like, man, please shut the hell up. Getting all butthurt over a freaking word like master bedroom. Are you kidding me, dude? And I'm glad Dr. Phil had this show and so forth. Because this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is craziness. You can't say peanut gallery. Oh, I don't understand why that's a problem. Bad word. You can't say jip or gip. You can't say ghetto. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that's part of my title and my name. And show TJQUake's Ghetto Gaming. Political talk. Or pop culture talk. Everything. You can't say ghetto now. So now what, I'm going to have to change the name of my show now because these people are offended by the word ghetto? Get out of here. And everything. Lame. You can't say the word lame. Ooh, spook. Because, they used to call us spooks back in the day. But the word spook actually means I was spooked out, like it was scared. It's spooky. Halloween. But now you say something like spooked. Oh, I was spooked. Oh, what did you just call me? Dude, that's offensive. That's right. They used to call us spooks. I'm like, dude, can I just say the word for being scared? I was spooked out. I'm not calling you the name. See what you got to do now? You got to explain yourself. You got to go through all this stupid shit for words that we've been saying all of our lives. And that's what I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. This is TJQUaKe, your ghetto gamer. You know how I do. I have to get out there and say what I got to say about stupidity like this. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back with some more craziness with you. You guys have a funky day. This is TJQUaKe, your ghetto gamer. I'm out at 5,000. You know how I do.
Yeah, here we go, I'm TJQUaKe, the ghetto gamer on this gaming thing.